I have special guest Michael Thompson on the line. He works for M Football as a journalist and commentator covering the A-League. Michael worked for 442, a publication concentrated on football, which has over 400,000 followers on Twitter. Michael has also covered the Asian Champions League, the premier club tournament in Asia. And we'll get him on the line right now. Michael, are you there?
Indeed, I am. Thanks for having me today, Jonathan.
No problem. Thanks for taking the time to speak with me. So, first of all, Michael, I kind of want to steer away from the Paul Pogba transfer because it's kind of been done to death by a lot of news outlets around the world. So I thought I would ask for your opinion on previous world-breaking transfers, such as Gareth Bale's. So he was sold to Real Madrid for £85 million back in 2013. Which team do you think has won out in that transfer? Real Madrid or Tottenham Hotspur?
I was going to say probably the team that did win out in that one was most likely Real Madrid because Madrid, even though they were milked by the Spurs to give the Spurs more money for Gareth Bale, we saw Gareth Bale, get a chance to go and play in Spain for one of the biggest clubs in the world. Unfortunately for the Spurs, they picked up some players that didn't do too well when they recruited them with the money that they got for Gareth Bale. So you've got players like Paulino, SYN Media, who now plays for Watford, Roberto Soldado, who he's playing as well in another league in Europe as well, and Chadley. But they were sort of promised. They were going to be the players that could fill Gareth Bale's positions, and that they needed players up forward, they needed players in the midfield. But probably the one player that did win out from that was Eric Lamela, who was also part of that 5-player deal in the Gareth Bale saga, where Lamela now, he still plays. He's actually playing pretty well as well. He played well last season for the Spurs. But just to put it in short, I think Real Madrid did win that trade.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned Lamela there. I mean, he plays in a pretty similar position as Bale. He's a out-and-out winger. And did you consider that a like-for-like trade, not in terms of quality, but position-wise?
I think it was, yeah, because as soon as Lamela came into the squad, because his first game he came off the bench for Tottenham, as soon as he came off the bench and showed his promise, Lamela, he just looked really comfortable through the attacking midfield for the Spurs. And at the moment for him, no one on the Spurs team has really looked at Lamela and tried to threaten him for his position on the team, especially in the starting 11.
Mm-hmm. And in saying that, do you think Bale was worth £85 million?
At the time, I don't think he was worth that much. I think he was worth probably between 65 to 75 million pounds. But I think the Spurs just wanted to see how much they could get out of Real Madrid, to see how much Real Madrid would be happy to spend on Gareth Bale to bring him over to Spain. And I think Spurs sort of milked probably an extra 5-10 million out of Gareth Bale and Real Madrid to make sure that he was the one to get through in the end. What was really funny as well was, I think Spurs were asking for 90 at one point, and Real Madrid sort of went back and said, we'll give you 85, and that's when Spurs sort of cracked and said, we're happy with 85 million.